This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
And the rubber chicken says, why would you name a holiday Labor Day? That doesn't make a lick of sense, but what do I know? I'm just a rubber chicken. Well, you can't have the day off. No, I don't care if it's a holiday for human beings. I'm working. You've got to work. Hey, please, you stop that or I will have you. No, I mean it. You will be fired. Okay, that is enough for today. Before I get very angry, we have to get on with Rantcast number 97. Shut up already. I'm sick of it. Okay, this is Lewis Black's Rantcast number 97, entitled Masturbating. Okay, that's Masterbaiting, masturbating, which is what we're going through this week. Is the judge has decided that the former leader can get a special master, and so we can now go through a masturbation, I guess, of what is it? What do we need a special? Why? Can somebody explain it? Huh? We're looking in there. We're looking to see what it is that he had, and he knows what he had, and the lawyers need to see what he had. What is it that they need to see? He knows what he had there, okay? And he knows why he's there. People are in there looking for this shit, and they had to wait on this shit. At what point does it not make sense that somebody? How does the judge rule like that? All right, he didn't allow that. He was fucking didn't return the shit he took. Okay? I mean, what if he took paintings and stuff out of there that we had so that people go, oh boy, that's an expensive thing. I guess he shouldn't have taken that. This is worse than if he stole shit. He did steal shit. It was our shit. And now we got to watch. And the reason I call it, masturbating, the other reason is because he is the masturbator. That's right. He throws the bait on the hook and reels everybody in. That's right. He's baiting, meaning he baits us continually. Oh, I didn't do that. No, this is really what. And he comes up with, you gotta, it's impressive. He just continues to make shit up every day, and it doesn't seem to matter. And boy, oh boy, this guy's the worst, and he's this, and that's that. But I didn't, I didn't take anything. I didn't do anything. Look, they threw this stuff on the floor. They went through Melania's stuff. Of course you go through shit. That's what you do. And then there was stuff that you had to go through it because there was empty envelopes. It's probably all mixed up. That's what I would guess. He's about as organized as I am if you took a look at my desk. God. And that's all we're doing is, take it a step further. That's, once again, we're all sitting around masturbating, and we are going to get into heavy duty masturbation coming up now that we've got the elections coming. It's apparently Labor Day, and a happy Labor Day to you all. I'm working on Labor Day because I care. No, I'm working on Labor Day because I've got a big week coming up, and I've got a lot of stuff to do, and I'm trying to get my act together. So I thought, get this done while I still have like a bit of energy left from the weekend and the continual Lewis Black celebration of being on the earth. And but we were going to go. We're going to September. The Labor Day is the start of the election season, as they say. Now it's going to go into full swing. And what does that mean? Oh, boy, we're going to have to hear about it. It's just like it's football or baseball or any other sport. Oh, they're not connected. Oh, they're winning now. No, we're going to think about that, and what if these people show up and how about if that, and how many people are in the stands and if they're cheering or not. And God, come on. Son of a bitch. And send some money now and send some money now. It turns out the Republicans have had $180 million in their war chest. Now they're down to $23 million. God knows what they spent it on. It's, and we're going into this, and literally, you turn on whatever channel. Well, it looks like the Republicans. No, it looks like the Democrats. No, it looks like the Republicans. No, it looks like the Democrats. Lindsey Graham, of course, continuing to just fucking yap. Just somebody should tell him, shut the fuck up for a while, okay? Just zip it with your nonsense, okay? I'm done with it. Just give us a vacation from it. And so he's going on, well, this will be, if he wins, Trump, this will be the greatest election recovery. This is huge. There'll be nothing like this in America. Come on. Just come off it. All of them. Shut the fuck up and let's, and then I'll get 5 million emails a day. Maybe, you know what? It's almost to the point of sending money to the people who don't bother you. I've said that before and again in time and ad infinitum. And come on. I literally dump 100 emails a day. Can't you send it? Boy, we're at the point of getting danger. We have to make $42,000 by, everybody has to make $42,000 by 6 o'clock just to keep up with inflation. Unreal. Just unreal. Jackson, Mississippi, meanwhile, no water. Can't get clean water. There's a place here in New York City. They say, and we got a project here that a housing project. They don't have clean water, but a whole fucking city. Flint too. God damn it! What's the matter with us? And for years they've been saying, our water's shitty. It's getting shittier and shitty. Now it's fucked. And it's flooding at the same time. The level at which this continues to be clinically insane. Well, the city's flooded, but they have no water. All right. What? What? Well, that's right. The city's flooded, but there's no water. Well, clean water, of course. And every day, we think we can get the thing pumping, but they will have to boil the water. And I can't imagine living like that. It's becoming disturbingly biblical. Floods, one today in Georgia, and then apparently their water is now fucked there. But Jackson's was getting fucked before the flooding was already fucked. They were already boiling water like it's they've been doing this on Native American reservations for fucking ever. They don't have clean water. It's stupid. Wealthiest country on the fucking planet. Can't come up with a way. We did for years, except probably on the Native American soil, and wherever else we could kind of fucking make a little money. And then speaking of that, I'm wound up that in Mississippi, they have like $80 million for welfare, and they were giving it away to the basically people who didn't need the money. It's, Brett Favre apparently got $1 million to give 3 speeches that he didn't give. And they put $5 million of welfare money into building a volleyball, a place for the kids, the girls' volleyball team, where I guess the men's too, at the University of Southern Mississippi, where Brett Favre's daughter was going. What is the matter with us? How do they do that? People in your goddamn fucking, they're people who fucking, they don't have a pot to piss in, they can't get food, and you're going to fucking build a volleyball fucking stadium? Well, there's only 2,000 seats or whatever. It's not really yes, it's fucking insane is what it is. Okay? You take the money and what you do it with what it was earmarked for. Whether you like it or fucking not, that's your job. All right? That's how come you got elected or chosen or whatever. Whoever was the fuck who directed that shit off the rails. And I'm just astonished by it all. And it's biblical. That's greed on a biblical level beyond belief. And this is and flooding, and then meanwhile the state of California continues to burn to the ground. I just can't even get over it. It's just it's beyond anyone's comprehension. And then in Greenland, there's the ice is falling. They call it zombie ice. That's falling into the water. That'll raise the fucking level of the seas. At what point? I have said a number of times that you can't really use these examples. How hot it got, and it's hot as fucking nuts out there in a ton of Arizona, which is always hot as fuck anyway, and Las Vegas and New Mexico. It's the whole area out there, the whole Southwest is burning up. And I've said time and again, I repeat myself, is that you can't really take this as an example of the kind of weather aberrations. Well, you know what? Enough's enough. You can take it as the fact that look, there's enough shit already fact wise. This is a list of the facts of how we would have a sense of why there already is a problem in terms of our environment because of of what we have done to the goddamn climate, what we have done to the global warming. Okay, all of that has gone on, all of it, and so when you look at the kind of the fucking aberrant weather things, you can kind of start going, well, maybe these are the kind of footnotes to the big that you look up the in the bigger kind of things. Well, it was 192 in Arizona today, and then you look at the bottom and go, oh, see the article on page at the end of the book about why the sun is a foot from the fucking earth now. And I know it didn't make sense. You know what? Because none of this makes sense anymore. And it's breaking my brain. All right. And I'm sure it's breaking a lot of yours. God. And now I'm trying to, I went online today. They go, well, here come the new booster shots. And I do need to get one now because I've held off because my doctor told me to. And because I had super amounts of antibodies apparently, and it would have been a wasted shot. And now, of course, I look and it's impossible to find out where to get it. That's going to come out on Tuesday or Monday, and it should be really well. So far, no, there's been no announcements. So that'll be what I'm be doing right after I sign up with you and look again. Meanwhile, I did have a wonderful birthday. It was really great. It was great to see my friends, and it was really had a terrific time. Even though I'm just tired of this aging process, which you wish they would. Someday and there will be a generation where they'll just be replacements parts and everything. And oh, you need some new skin? Done. Everything will be fine. And nobody will smoke. Nobody will eat fatty foods. Everybody will be perfect. And they'll live forever. And then they'll need a whole bunch of psychologists to deal with the problems caused by that. Traumatized by the fact that he's 387. And I did find myself suckered in this week to and not really, suckered in, because I have not for years watched tennis, and I found myself watching Serena, and I am not an avid. I barely have watched tennis over the past 20 years. I lost all interest in the sport. I had been attempting to be on my high school tennis team. You would have to battle through a whole bunch of people. I would get to number 10 on the list. 8 would be the amount playing at the time, and then I would by the end of by the time I got to 10, by the next week it would start over again, and I'd try to beat number 9. Number 9 would beat me, then number 11 would beat me, number 12 would beat me, and I went all the way back down the ladder, and then I went back up the ladder, and it was all well and good in terms of physical exercise, but I sucked. It was exhausting. And I got tired of it and frustrated, and I said, fuck this. Meanwhile, a year or two later, my brother made the tennis team. We went out and played a match. He won 6-0, 6-1. He was about 4 inches shorter than I was at the time. I took the racket and fired it over the fence around the tennis court, over the fence that was around the Naval Ordnance Lab where my father worked. So it landed there, and that was it. That was it for me in tennis. But I just didn't watch. I didn't, and then I stopped caring about a lot of the people who were playing. I didn't give a shit about it, and even with her, I just didn't get captivated, like many of my friends were. But I did watch, and it was kind of an extraordinary moment to see. And she truly is. What are you going to say? And they have to use something else besides goat. You have to stop saying goat. It's not. I don't care. Sure it's greatest of all time, but there's got to be another. Just say best ever, whatever it is. But goat is just, it irritates me for some reason. And but she certainly is beyond. I mean, that's quite remarkable. And I really thought, and the reason she lost was because I started following. Yep. She won those first two, and I thought maybe it's turned around. Maybe the fact that when I watch a team play, as I have over and over and over again, and saw every team that I care about lose in the most insane, unbelievable fashions, that somehow, and she was up, and she was leading. I walked away from the TV for a while. She was leading 4-0 when I came back, and then, bam, gone. But hats off, and really a triumph. And she will now, march into the sunset, with no doubt doing something else quite extraordinary. She's one of those folks. Or if she doesn't, who gives a shit? She's already done it. And I'm sure people blast me back. I can't believe you, but I do. It's hard not to be impressed. You got to be kind of callous, not to find it impressive. But I must say, I don't feel badly having missed her career. I don't, because it's tennis. And that, like soccer, has never intrigued me a lot. Soccer, a little more. There's a little, but not by much. And that's where we are. That's a week. Yes, sir. And this is a wrap. I am done with this, talking about stuff this week, because I got other things to do. I got 2 fantasy football teams. I got to focus on them. And I got to find a booster shot, and going to talk to my mom, maybe her. And so here we go. We got a few things just to throw your way from those great folks at the week. I'm not going to say what you'll know what I might have said about this. The Polish Academy of Sciences officially classified cats as an invasive alien species, because they kill billions of birds and small mammals a year and have a negative influence on native biodiversity. Yes, I'm not and I have to agree. I mean, my next special will show you my position on cats, and this would come to something my friend Kathleen Madigan would be outraged. She loves cats and has a few of them around now, and I see them as an invasive alien species. I always have. Weird little fuckers. But you will soon know my position on it. But I agreed with them in Poland, and I'm glad somebody finally had the courage to nail it. I don't think it has to do. It's not so much the negative influence on native biodiversity. I just think they're creepy little fucks, and I'll stick by that position. They're shit in a box. That's all I got to say. No other animal does that. And also, as usual, another idiot running for Congress the Republican Laverne Spicer claimed that there are no pronouns in the Constitution. I don't know why she would claim that, but that's really. Critics pointed out that there are dozens of pronouns in the Constitution, including its first word, we, something that she might not understand because it's all about me, I think, with Laverne, possibly. A lot of the times I feel that with Republicans, it's the me party versus the we party. And the me party really is in terms of when times were good, it was like, we need to save some money so that we have money for the we, for all the things that we need to do. But that's for another time, because we're gonna get on out of here. And by we, I mean me and my multiple personalities. It has been a pleasure, as always, to spend time with you. I think you're going to, as I've always said, that we've got some great rants coming your way again this week. The folks writing in, all of you, never let me down, and I hope I don't let you down. I hope that you have a great school year and that you all get A's. Okay, that you continue to take care of each other, because that's what we got to do in light of all the shit that's hitting all the fans. All righty. Bye-bye. And I nearly forgot, which is common for someone as they get older. They forget shit. But I did, to thank all of you for those many kind words and birthday wishes that were sent in all of the variety of social media platforms. It deeply appreciated. Means a lot. Thank you. After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after learning about their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly to you. It can save you a ton of money monthly compared to the big wireless providers, and you could be saving hundreds of dollars a year. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month, giving you the best rate whether you're buying one plan or a family plan of 2 lines or more. All plans come with unlimited talk and text, as well as high-speed data, delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use any phone on your Mint Mobile plan, and it allows you to keep the same phone number and contacts. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and get the plan shipped to your door for free, go to www.mintmobile.com/Lewis. That's mintmobile.com/Lewis. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Lewis. Hey, it's still summer, and what goes great with a summer vibe? How about a checking account with no monthly fees? Like a cool breeze, Chime is a refreshing way to handle your money with no monthly fees, no maintenance fees, or minimum balance fees. It's how banking should be. Chime allows you to access your money free of fees anywhere in its 60,000 in-network ATMs around the nation, like Walgreens, 7-Eleven, and CVS. Chime also lets you send money to anyone. It's free for you and no cash out fees for them. Chime is no monthly fees and no vibe-killing fees. Signing up for a Chime checking account only takes 2 minutes and doesn't affect your credit score. Get started at chime.com/Lewis. That's chime.com/Lewis. Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services provided by and debit card issued by the Bancorp Bank or Stride Bank, N.A. Members FDIC. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees apply, except at MoneyPass ATM in a 7-Eleven location and at any Allpoint or Visa Plus Alliance ATM. Other fees, such as third-party and cash deposit fees, may apply. Here we go. This comes in from Wayne Baker. A nifty little rant. In honor of two great rants, he sent it in. The cockblocker rant of the lady from Williamsport and the "I've given the wounded mouse weed. I'm questioning my sanity." That lady's rant. This is from Wayne B. in an undisclosed locale. "I want to divorce my asshole in-laws, but I can't. The young ones are too important to abandon. But the older ones cannot be convinced that their favorite conspiracy theories are shit, or that climate change is a real problem for all of us. They have the intellectual curiosity of a goldfish, god damn it. Recently, one of them, pointing to the sky on a somewhat cooler than normal summer day, said, 'There is no evidence of global warming that I can see.' And it gets worse from there, with their hatred of anyone not in their fundamentalist tribe. How can you talk about threats to democracy and the future of the world with relatives who fail to accept facts and science?" I just had to write this to vent. Hoping against hope, do you have any wisdom or advice to share for when they spout off their bullshit the next time? Thanks for letting me vent, and it's my pleasure to let you vent. Wayne, it's a great joy in my life is to be able to share the voices of people who have got to get something off their chest. And I'm going to follow this with someone who sent in something that might help you the next time. Certainly, I think will help a number of folks who watch the Rantcast. All right. Thank you again. Stay tuned. An answer is coming. Not from me. I got no fucking idea. I got no clue. I hide because I don't know what to say to them. And generally, when I do, it's not good. From Nancy, no last name. She is sharing some answers and hopefully will help our friend Wayne. Dear Lewis, I spent my summer listening to and reading the words of a stream of pundits and public intellectuals whose messages reduced to three major points. Number one, as a nation, we are fucked. Number two, every citizen has a role in getting us unfucked. And number three, the only way for us to get unfucked is to reach out to each other. So I've drafted some conversational guidelines for those who might be having trouble communicating with those at the far right end of the political spectrum. First, remember that the mental picture of your conversational partner has at the beginning of your encounters is that you are standing next to Hillary Clinton in a Georgetown cellar drinking the blood of children from a Williams-Sonoma wine glass. You have some work to do right out of the gate. To make yourself more relatable, you might want to demonstrate what a regular person you are. For example, by using "we was" in a sentence. What's a little subject-verb disagreement when democracy hangs in the balance? Topic selection is tricky. You can say something sports-related like, "How about those Bears?" But you'll need to avoid any mention of the Washington Commanders, however, because that hatchet is not yet buried. If your maggot has a pet, you can say "cute dog" and ask its breed, but don't stray into how the dog was acquired, because rescuing is a woke thing. Also, nobody needs to know about your dog's grooming. This is just inviting trouble. If you're a college student being questioned about your education, you may be perceived as a show-off, even by politicians whose degrees in universities are far better than yours. In the interest of political harmony, you should claim you are a computer science major working your way through college as a plumber's assistant. For extra bonding, mention that the entire student body and faculty is liberal, lazy, and couldn't walk even one day in your shoes. There may come a time when you are presented with the opportunity to have a longer, more philosophical conversation. Follow these tips to maximize your success. First, you must profess belief in a single deity, though nothing in far-right doctrine requires you to actually follow the teachings of that deity. Throughout human history, there have been many belief systems with many gods. But to simplify your interactions, it's best to follow classic American Jesus, who wants you to have an upper middle class lifestyle, great kitchen countertops, and children who marry within their race. When it comes to politics, nothing requires that you have read or studied the United States Constitution before invoking, for example, the 10th Amendment. If in reality, knowing any facts will be a barrier to your acceptance, it's enough that you read what people write about the Constitution on Twitter. After all, they wouldn't be posting it if they weren't experts. If you find yourself deeply engaged in a political conversation that may be going awry, you should just explain, sounds like a states' rights issue to me, and move on. This does not need to have any internal logic. Just say those words. I'll repeat them for Nancy with no last name. Sounds like a states' rights issue to me. In a departure from centuries of social tradition, explicit references to genitalia are now acceptable. You can talk about somebody grabbing pussy or being a pussy. The eating of pussy is a bit more complex, and you should avoid discussions of this completely, except when offered a description of a birthday present that a male husband gives his female wife within the confines of their godly marriage, just to spice it up. References to male genitalia have also been popularized. See if you can use the term big dick energy to compliment the most sociopathic person in the room. You'll be a hit. In closing, remember that our society will wither and die unless you can engage the hearts and minds of people who believe in crisis actors, ivermectin, and good racists. Now get out there with your big dick energy and save democracy. That was quite well put, Nancy, if I may call you Nance. And I hope that helps many of the folks out there. Andrea Doria is got a lot to say, and I think worth the time hearing it. All righty. Dear Lewis, is a woman born and raised in Central Europe, specifically in Germany, I have some thoughts about your nation. What the actual fuck, America? There, I've said it. And I'm already exhausted. I want to yell at your country and also silently pull my hair out in despair when I think of it. When I was a kid in the 1970s and 80s, the U.S. was the greatest place in the entire fucking universe. We looked up to you people. We admired you and wanted to be just like you. Cowboys and millionaires and movie stars and rock and roll, anything that was American was just so damn cool. And no, I won't forget that without the U.S. joining the Allied forces, the Nazis would have murdered many, many more people than they already had by the time the war finally ended. The Marshall Plan set Western Europe on the road to democracy and peace, and it enabled the generation of my grandparents and parents to rebuild their countries and their lives. I'll be forever grateful for that because it allowed me to grow up in a free and democratic society, one that I cherish every day, and I cherish it even more these days. Every time there's news from the USA, a fucking tragedy is what your nation is, and a disappointment to generations of Europeans who grew up looking up to you people. Over the years, my glittering childhood idea of the U.S. has already taken a number of hits. Reagan's Star Wars program, hearing about your fucked up so-called healthcare and education systems, the Rodney King riots, Bush becoming president through election fraud. The list goes on. Still, I thought, politics aside, most of them are good people, and they know the difference between good and bad. Then Sandy Hook happened. And what I saw after that unspeakable, heinous crime was that as a nation, a people, a community of human beings, the U.S. did not cry out. did not march, did not call their representatives every damn day or write to them or stand outside their offices with signs and bullhorns telling them to stop slaughtering children. They did not do any of these things except for much too small a number of brave and caring people who sadly made no difference whatsoever. It was shocking to see a nation not only allow such a thing to happen, but also not do everything in its power to stop it from happening again and again and again. I kept thinking, what kind of people do that? When Obama got elected, we had dared to hope that things would get better. And that may sound strange to you, like, what do the Europeans care who's the president over here? They should mind their own business. Nothing I'd like to be able to say more, but because the USA or rather were such a dominant power in the geopolitics of our time, everything that happens in your country inevitably has an effect on the rest of the world, which is why we have no choice but to have an interest in what's happening in U.S. politics. For the first couple of months after Obama had won the election, every single person I talked to, not only Germans, but French, Spanish, Brits, Dutch, were convinced he would get shot by some racist asshole during the first year of his presidency. Imagine what kind of an image Europeans have of your nation that we would be so sure to expect such a thing. And then 2016 came around, and I don't even know where to start. The United States have achieved something I thought was impossible. After everything we learned from Nazi rule in World War II and the Holocaust, all of the nations on the fucking planet, it is the United States of fucking America that has managed to make fascist ideas and ideology acceptable again? Well, thanks a fucking lot, America. And this year, Uvalde, how can you allow this to happen? Why don't enough of you care? Why don't you protect your children? What can possibly be more important than that? I'm tired, Lewis, and scared, sad, and angry. I hear what the neo-fascists in your country are saying, and I don't hear enough people standing up against them. The hatred and the lies they're spreading just to make more money and get more power. There are many people here in Europe, too many, who are picking up the same tactics and rhetoric. Hungary, Poland, France, Italy, Turkey. I never would have thought I would live to see the day that fascism returns. I'm 50 years old this year. I don't have any children of my own, but I have enough empathy to worry about other people's children. I keep telling myself that we were scared shitless in the 1980s too, when nuclear war seemed imminent all the time. And when Chernobyl blew up in 86, we got through it, and everything was fine for a few decades after that. So I'm hoping this too will turn out to be just a phase. It will pass without a global catastrophe. But it sure never felt as bad as it does now. Not for as long as I can remember. Anyway, as that old song goes, we pick ourselves up, dust ourselves off, and start all over again. Thanks for everything, Lewis. You're a shining light in these dark times, not shining enough. P.S. My mother had a bad stroke a few years ago and has been living in a care home since. From what you've said about your mom, they seem to be similar characters. Say hi to her from me if you think she'd be interested to know. She has a fan in Germany. I don't know if you'd want to hear what she'd have to say, Andrea. If that's your name, Andrea Doria. That's that boat. Is that your name? That's well put, and certainly I understand those feelings you have, and many folks that I know have those feelings, and I know people that I know have, for the first time, thought about leaving here because they just don't want to go back and live through a time period that many of them already lived through once and didn't think we'd have to fucking go back to. I do have hope. And he's thinking, I do have hope, and not enough drugs to maintain that hope. I do, and I think we could turn a corner, but boy, it's going to take an effort, and it's hopefully enough is fuck enough for everybody here. I understand. Look, for folks who are listening, I constantly talk about this. The fact that folks in other countries look at us and watch us and pay attention to what we're doing. And we have to, whether we fucking like it or not, be an example to the world. And they sit and they look at us and they wonder the fuck why. I have a good friend of mine in Paris, it's the same thing. I get emails, the same fucking things that they're worried about in terms of us. So thank you, Andrea. And I hope this reaches some of the folks out there in my audience who kind of say, well, what do the Europeans know? They know a lot. They got a history, they got a culture. A little bit's nutty, but we'll talk about that some other time. Thank you. From Sean Murphy, a bit of house ranting. My wife and I are excited by buying a new house and can't wait to make it our own. But please, if you're going to sell a house, do not be a petty, sore, pathetic loser seller because you didn't get your way when you sold the house. The previous seller decided to leave us many surprises. First was the lovely trash and junk left in the garage. A vacuum full of dog hair, old broken down chairs, and assorted crap. Also, a dirty used toilet. Second, take all of your food out of the fridge and freezer. I am not going to eat your nasty leftover food from God knows how long, and God knows how long it's been sitting in the fridge. There's a garbage can full of her food. Thirdly, do not take all the light bulbs from the house. Let me repeat that. All the bulbs. There are no bulbs in the basement, no bulbs in the master bedroom and the bath. One bulb out of 4 in the main bath. No bulbs in the other bedrooms. She was kind enough to leave some lights in the kitchen. Also, she left some dirty clothes in one of the bedrooms. The one thing I am having a hard time wrapping my head around is that she took the doorbell button. Who the hell takes the doorbell button? Are there special family heirloom Amish-made doorbell buttons? I don't know, but she must have really liked that doorbell button. All this pettiness, because as her realtor told our realtor, she was pissed because she couldn't take the cabinets in the garage that were attached to the garage. These cabinets must have been made from an exotic, extinct species of wood that is only found in the deepest, darkest parts of the Amazon, that men have died to bring her these cabinets, which was a selling point to me when we saw the house. We were told that she was taking them after we made an offer and signed the contract. The garage cabinets were not mentioned in the contract that she was taking them. Her agent told our agent that this was a closing from hell. My rant is over. I would look for other surprises she left us, but I'm sitting in the dark because she really wanted those damn light bulbs. Wow, that is unbelievable. The doorbell. Who takes the bulbs? I mean, that's unbelievable, unless they were lifelong bulbs, unless they were those, ones that last 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Boy, the lighting here is a little strange, isn't it? Well, that's because it's a very gray day out there. And it's the best I can do down here in my public access studio. Thank you, Sean. Thanks for that. And I'm sure others will, others who've been through the house buying hell will enjoy every moment of that. And those who haven't, I think, will like it too. Here's one from Jeremy Jackson. Could you tell my wife, and I'll make sure she's listening, that she is certifiably crazy? She has to have the corresponding sauce to where she got the food from, or she won't eat it. For example, if she orders nuggets from Popeye, she has to have a ranch dressing that's from Popeye's. One time I forgot to get the ranch and she refused to eat the fucking nuggets. I told her that we have a perfectly good bottle of ranch in the fridge, but she said, and I quote, "It's not the same," and then proceeded to throw it away while I looked at her in a stunned silence. We argued about that for a long time, and my argument was, I understand it's not as good, but to go all the way to inedible is fucking extreme. And she, I don't care, it's not the same, it's nasty. And I said, well, next time you go buy your own goddamn food. So once again, could you tell her she's a crazy person? Because when I say it, it falls on deaf ears. Jeremy. Well, thank you, Jeremy. And I think what you should do really is a taste test. I think you should bring over 3 friends, put on one side the chicken nuggets from Popeye's with the ranch from the house, and the other with the with the spectacular Popeye's ranch dressing, and have them taste and see if there is a difference between them, so that you can then say to your wife, yes, my dear, I love you dearly, but you're out of your fucking mind. I think a taste test is in order, Jeremy. Tracy James sends in a hell of a rant based on having to deal with rough fucking bullshit. What is the fucking deal with food stamps? Huh? Or as it is now known, the Nutrition Assistance Program. I'm on disability due to a brain aneurysm, so I was familiar with the joke. Not much assistance there. I started my journey with them sending me a food stamp card and telling me I qualified. But I qualified for 0. That's right, I was fucking qualified, and they sent me a card with the generous amount of $0 to assist me in maintaining my ability to eat deposited monthly into my account. Wow. At the time I was put on disability, I was making the overwhelming sum of $768 a month. So as you can imagine, I was living high off the hog on the government's teat, so to speak. If not for my best friend, I might have been homeless or worse, forced to go live with my sister in California. So my fucking food stamp card became kind of a joke I kept in my wallet for laughs. Eventually, I got increases up to the staggering sum of $17 and then $20 per month. And then came the fucking pandemic, and I got a letter stating I would now be getting my full allotment of nutrition assistance. What the fuck? Why are we not getting our full allotment all the time? And suddenly I'm getting $220 a month, and I was fucking ecstatic. Instead of eating top ramen 3 days a week, I was buying real food. I could cook again, or not cook, and buy frozen meals of better quality. My diabetes was under control, and I lost a little weight. The fucking pandemic was the best thing that happened to me in 20 years. So who is in charge of this? Because in May, the program ended and I'm back to the $20 level. I'm not eating less than before, but the fucking pandemic is over, so I guess I don't need to eat well. Even though after 4 fucking doses of the vaccine, I got COVID and could really use the help. But the fucking government had decided the fucking pandemic was over. I've called various governmental agencies and contacted my representative, and no one is in charge. Apparently, the FS program is handled by a mysterious they. that being the food stamp program, is handled by a mysterious they in the Department of Agriculture. They decided that people needed more food at home because no one was working. Well, I'm on disability. I never work. I'm always at home. Why am I lumped in with the poor sots who both work and get paid so little they still have to depend on government assistance? This whole fucking country is beyond screwed up, and the assistance given to the disabled is a fucking embarrassment. Now it's back to food boxes from churches and the kindness of friends who occasionally can afford to take me out. And ramen soup? God, do I fucking hate ramen soup. That is just amazing. And then people say, well, what's the matter? Can't you do something? Huh? How come you're on disability? Fucking tired of it. Tired of it. Tired of people thinking that someone like you is screwing them. Because that's what, there are people out there who think that shit. Which is how we end up with these votes like this. Well, take care of yourself, Tracy. It's not easy to share that, I'm sure. This comes to us from BJ Terry. This is my rant, and it will be a bit unusual to say the fucking least. So the other day, while talking with my mom and dad, at the end of the call, my dad, from out of fucking nowhere, he said, I didn't know you hated your nickname so bad. Well, I don't really, but I actually hate how fucking immature people still act, even at my age of 58. I keep thinking I'll outgrow the bullshit. People think they're so original making the blowjob reference. Fucking hack. At least be a little creative, assholes. I come up with the comebacks. I just go by that to save time on letting people know what I like. Or, the business is named after me. You don't see Wendy flipping burgers, do you, shithead? Then you have people that fucking prefer to call me Bill. BJ is for Bill Jr., for reference, because they are uncomfortable. I even came up with a self-deprecating comment that my parents named me after what I should have been. I also have two brothers, Jerk Off and Jack Off. They are identical twins. If they thought they were uncomfortable before, fuck them. It's not bullying if I enjoy the ability to turn the shit onto them. I think the best one was when my mom once actually said that in 1964, a blowjob wasn't referred to as a BJ. So let me just say, fuck me, and I need to get over my fucking self. Whew. That was weird and cathartic. I can understand your irritation with this, BJ. Well, you're fucked. I mean, that's a hell of a nickname. I mean, what are you going to do? That's what people do. As soon as they hear BJ, they get all excited. That's why I love doing this, is moments like this, out of nowhere, on a rainy afternoon, just past Labor Day. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy, or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me, Lewis Black. It is produced by James Salkine. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcast. And most of all, thank you, all of you who ranted so well on this show.